Hi, welcome back. It's Libby. I'm back in my kitchen. It's day 21. I've only got another week to go before I finish my 28 days. I've just eaten out of my cupboards and only buying a little bit of fresh fruit and veg and keeping it quite simple. So I am here today. It's Sunday and I'm going to make a luxury chestnut and shallot pie. Now I'm using all my ingredients that I found in my cupboards. So it's mostly things that are in the cupboard. I've got a couple of fresh things which I'll show in a moment. So the recipe is really easy. A while ago I bought some chestnut flour and I've sort of had half a bag left and I was thinking I need to use this up. So I've made the pastry with half chestnut flour and half plain flour because I made it before with just the chestnut flour and it kind of broke up. Now, I'm only using this chestnut flour because I've got some. You don't have to use chestnut flour. The extra addition of the chestnut flour will add quite a lot of protein into the dish, will make it a higher protein dish, which is really good. So we've got 225 grams of flour, either a mix of plain and chestnut or just normal plain flour, about half a teaspoon of salt and 125 grams of a vegan margarine. I use a coconut margarine or coconut oil. This is odourless, it doesn't have any taste of coconut, it's just pure butter, and I often just use this as a spread on toast. It's very tasty. It's just got no coconut whatsoever. It is quite expensive. That whole jar is about £11 English pounds, so you know but it goes a long way. So I've used a little bit of that in the pastry, and I've made enough to make 4 of these pies. But I'm going to cut the recipe in half because I've got some chestnuts here that I bought from Aldi, and there's only 80 grams and the recipe says 150 grams. So this is only going to make 2 pies, but that's absolutely fine. I can make one and I can freeze the other one for myself. So what you will need is your pastry made. I made it in a blender, not a food processor. I put the flour in, put the fat in, made it come into like a breadcrumb, like a normal pastry. I added some lemon rind just to give it a bit of flavour, and the salt, and then a bit of water, and then I just watched it till it came to the pastry. Yes, that is the pastry it's made. I've already cut one out here. I've got a ring already prepped so I can show you, so it's taking a little bit of time. So I've made a ring of pastry. It's not very thick, but it's not very thin. It's probably about, I would say maybe 1/4 of an inch or something like that. It's not 1/4 of an inch, probably 1/8 of an inch, but a nice round, so you've got a base. I used a upturned dish, a cereal dish, to put on and then cut round it. I made it slightly bigger than this ring here because what I want to do is make it kind of rough. I'm going to kind of bring it in to make a rough crust. So it's not a pie that's going to go into a pie dish. It's just going to go on a baking sheet, so it makes life a lot easier. So in this pan, in this frying pan, I'm going to turn it on now, I have got about half of an onion, or 1 medium-sized onion. You're supposed to use in the recipe red onion, and I'd already got half an onion already cut up, so instead of wasting that and then cutting this one up, I've used the white onion. It says red, it really doesn't matter. So this has been cooking for about 5 minutes, and I'm just going to let it come up to temperature. It's got 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Now this might be too much in here. I've got it in here, look. It might be too much to make 2 pies with, but it doesn't matter because if there's any over, I can just put it in some soup or something. It won't be wasted. So you just need to get that up to a sizzle. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some fresh thyme, or in my case dried thyme. I do have thyme in my garden, but because we're only in sort of late winter, it's not particularly healthy looking. It's like little twigs of it, so it's a bit woody at the moment. It's a bit old, so I'll wait for the fresh stuff to come up and then I can use that. But I've got this dried stuff here, which is just as good. We don't need quite so much. Remember, when you're using dried herbs, you only use about probably 1/3 of the fresh herb. Okay, so that's coming up nicely. And then what I did, I found some red wine vinegar. So the purpose of this challenge is to use up stuff that I've already got. So it says 3 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. Well, I'm only making half, so I'm going to put 1 1/2, or probably put 2 tablespoons of this red wine vinegar. So I've got a 2 tablespoon scoop here, and I'm just going to put that in. It will sizzle up, and the smell is quite strong because it's the vinegar. So you might have to stand back a little bit. Okay, so just let that come to kind of caramelisation, but you don't want it to caramelise too much because otherwise it's going to be a bit too strong in the recipe. So I'm going to put in a little bit of thyme, not too much, that'll probably be about enough. Just put that one aside. I've got a little bit left there, so I could make another gravy tomorrow. Might make a caramelised onion gravy with that. So that is kind of coming to, till it comes just to not quite soft. We don't want it to be a mush because it is going to cook in the oven, but you don't want it raw. So you just cook it so it's literally about halfway through is about right. So that's probably about right. I'm just going to turn it up again because I've turned it down because of the vinegar going in. So just cook that nicely. That's just kind of going in with the vinegar. Smells really nice. And then I'm going to add my chestnuts. So they're already peeled and they're vacuum packed, so they have a good shelf life. I mean, I bought these. The shelf life in here is end of this year, so about September. So they should be fine. But I'm going to use them up today. So I'm going to put them in, and it will just literally warm them through. You don't really need to do anything at this point because they don't need to cook. They're just going to be mixed in with the recipe. So I'm just going to let that cool down, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make the pie. Now you really do need to cool this down because it will make the pastry go a bit soggy, but I'm just going to show you anyway, and because I'll probably just put this straight in the fridge and it will cool down anyway. So what you need to do is you've got your round of pastry like so, yeah? Roll it out so it's not too thick and it's not too thin, enough so you can make it into like if you were making a quiche or something like that, yeah? So then what you're going to do is you're just going to put some of the mix, but as I say, I would let this cool down a little bit, but because of showing on the video, I'll do it straight away. So I'm just going to put half of this recipe, half of these ingredients onto the pie. Okay, so then the rest will be for the other pie. So I've got here 2, 4, 6, sort of 7 chestnuts, so just make sure we've got equal. We don't want any fighting over the pie. So then what we're going to do is we're just going to pinch it in. So I'm just going to do it roughly. So we're just going to pinch you might actually want to put a little bit of water. Let's just get a little bit of water. So I'm just going to use my hand. You could use a pastry brush here, but I'm just going to use my hands. This is for me, so not me too fussy, but probably use a pastry brush if you're using it to make it for other people. So then all you're going to do is bring it in. So all you're going to do is pinch it in and making like a little pie. It comes into a nice little pie shape, quite fancy looking on the top. So that is it kind of finished. Can you see that? It's got like these little crimped edges. Now I'm going to put this straight in the fridge when I've made it. But on the top here, before you cook it, you can put some toppings on. So if you are vegetarian, you could probably put some maybe Stilton. If you're vegan, you can put some a nice, say, mozzarella or something like that if you're into vegan cheeses. I'm going to not put anything on mine. I'm just going to have it kind of plain. I'm going to make some vegan cheese next week, so I will have a go at making some and then trying that. I tell you what, it's really nice if you do eat dairy cheese, is some camembert, which is absolutely gorgeous on the top. As I say, I'm mostly vegan now, and especially with this challenge, it's made me quite into the vegan lifestyle. So I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to leave it in the fridge, let it cool down, and then I will have it tonight with some roast potatoes, some broccoli. I've got loads of broccoli left, and I've got some cauliflower. And with the rest of the red onion vinegar here, I might make an onion gravy and use the rest of this up just to make it a nice tasty gravy. So that's me finished today. I hope you enjoyed the recipe. Have a go. If you have some chestnuts in your cupboard, then using them up, and let me know how it goes. You'll cook it for about, I think it says on gas mark 5, 375 or 190 degrees for about 15-20 minutes. But you kind of watch it, so it's only a small little pie, so about 20 minutes I think will be fine, and then just enjoy it. Okay, I'll speak to you soon. Lots of love, bye bye.